Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. We're going to show you how a Mendocino Coast auction is done. All right, let's do it. Starting with lot number 1, my friends in the house. Just put your paddle up in the air. You'll be glad you did. $1,000, $1,000 bid, $1,100 is there, $1,200 is there, $13 in the back, $10.55. It feels so good. Go ahead and do it, Ed. And hurry and last call in. Here it goes. Sold it, and thank you. Right over there to paddle number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you just raised $210,000. You people are incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Winesong. You know, when I bid you adieu at the conclusion of last year's Winesong in the Botanical Gardens, I could never have imagined that I'd be welcoming you to Winesong 2020 virtually. And while it seems like so many things are shifting to virtual these days, one thing that has remained unshakably real is your support. There's nothing virtual about that. I hope this finds you in good health and good spirits today, and I thank you for joining us. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we'll hear from some of our friends on the coast and pull together as in years past, mindful that Winesong is the single largest fundraiser of the year for the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation. Frankly, it's because of you, Winesong supporters, that the Mendocino Coast has access to innovative healthcare technology rarely found in other rural areas. Throughout this broadcast, I invite you to make charitable contributions to the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation. Simply text the word Winesong to the number 345-345. Again, text Winesong to 345-345. But we'll hear more about that later. To kick off our virtual event this afternoon, please welcome the president of the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation, Mr. John Allison.
Hello, my name is John Allison. As president of the Board of Directors of the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation, I'd like to welcome you to our 36th annual Winesong event. Out of necessity this year, Winesong is virtual until we meet again. There could not be a more important time to support the healthcare needs of the Mendocino coastal community. Thank you very much for participating in Winesong. Our deepest thanks to our partners and sponsors who have contributed generously despite the recent challenges. I'd also like to acknowledge the tremendous effort of the Foundation staff. They dove in with ease and grace to address the COVID crisis. Their contributions have been enormous to the health and well-being of our community. Thank you very much. To our dedicated Winesong behind-the-scenes production crew who recreated our event online so you could feel as though you're right here on the beautiful Mendocino coast, I celebrate you. I'd also like to thank George and MTV Pro for hosting us today. George, you're a technical wizard. My hat's off to you. And most of all, our friends and family at home watching, our Mendocino coastal community is healthier and stronger because of you. We are profoundly grateful for your generosity and your support. We set out this summer to raise vital funds for the healthcare needs of the Mendocino coastal community. To bring us into the home stretch, please welcome our friend and auctioneer, DawnMarie.
Thank you so much, John. To those of you already sending in gifts, I say thank you. It looks like there's some fierce bidding underway in the online art auction. It closes at 5 p.m. Pacific, so keep checking your bids. Here to tell us a bit about this year's signature lot offerings, please welcome Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation Board member, Charlene McAllister.
Welcome to our art gallery. I'm Charlene McAllister. I'm a member of the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation Board of Directors, and I was a founding member of Winesong almost 36 years ago. We're so sorry we can't be together this year in the gardens, but the Foundation's work of supporting healthcare on the Mendocino Coast is more critical than ever. So here we are with our very first ever online virtual auction and special events, starting with our art gallery. The past many years of Winesong have given us so many wonderful pieces in our art auction. This year you'll find some of the very best art. Once again, we have our signature 6-bottle wine boxes and our large format bottles, along with some wonderful art from our photographers, sculptors, and woodworkers. We are proud of our relationships with our local artists, and we're happy to be able to promote them, and we're very grateful for their generous contributions. Thank you for all your support, and we hope you find something wonderful for yourself in our art gallery.
Thanks so much, Charlene. And as has become our Winesong tradition, it's time to raise a glass together. To lead us in a celebratory toast, please welcome the one, the only, Narcy David.
Hip hip hooray! I'm Narcy David to say 3 cheers for Winesong. You know, Winesong is just my absolutely favorite wine and food event of all, and I've been to a lot of different ones, and I've been to at least 30 of these 36. It's really important to keep in mind that they need our help for healthcare on the Mendocino Coast. So here's cheers to the 36th annual Winesong.
Happy Winesong, everyone. Here's to the happy memories we've shared and great times ahead. Cheers. As we celebrate, please join me in also congratulating Winesong 2020 Vintner of the Year, Martha Barra.
Hi, I'm Martha Barra. Welcome to Winesong 2020. We're here on the beautiful Mendocino Coast, sheltering in place with a couple of my friends. It's such an honor to be recognized as the Vintner of the Year. We will miss Charlie, who passed away this past year, and he would have certainly been honored. The vineyards were started in 1955. We started making wine in the year 2000. We've got a long history in Mendocino County. We've been supporting Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation for over 30 years, either through donation of the house here that you're seeing today, or by special wine donations, and then through monetary donations too, because we really feel that our community here needs the very best health care. So open your hearts, be generous, but in the meantime, come and enjoy this beautiful, special place on earth. Until we meet again.
Until we meet again, indeed. Congratulations again, Martha. We all miss Charlie and know he'd be so proud. Now, friends, let's toast our Winesong 2020 Artist of the Year, Bob Rhodes.
My name is Bob Rhodes, and I'm honored to be the Winesong 2020 Artist of the Year. I'm a watercolorist, I'm a printmaker, I'm a paper maker, and I do monotypes. And I've been a contributor to Winesong for 12 years plus, contributing works of art and bottles, and many of my students have been Winesong artists as well. So basically the piece is a watercolor that has been developed through sketches. I came up with a watercolor and colored pencil and collage elements that are all put together to give you the illusion of walking into the gardens through this lighted, forested area. I picked a walkway leading through the light and into the lush plantings with these kind of gnarly old trees that I decided would be a perfect place to develop the surface with monotype patterns of grape leaves. So here's the finished piece, and I call it Terroir.
Terroir indeed. Congratulations again to Bob Rhodes. Friends, since its inception, Winesong has raised over $8 million to ensure that those who call the Mendocino Coast home, as well as its visitors, have access to high-quality healthcare and innovative technologies rarely found in other rural areas. I dare say there's never been a time that we've been more aware of the fragility and the importance of good health. Throughout our broadcast, I invite you to make charitable contributions to the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation, and it's truly as easy as sending a text. To do so, simply text the word Winesong to the number 345345. Pretend 345345 is the phone number, and the message of your text is the word Winesong. There's an example on your screen that shows you exactly how to do it. You'll immediately receive a reply containing a link to complete your pledge. Typically, folks prefer to use their phone or tablet to text pledges so as to continue enjoying the broadcast via your TV or computer screen. Friends, I'll sure miss the joy of seeing that special glance that passes between us when you raise your paddles in the tent. But throughout this broadcast, I'll be calling out your names to acknowledge you with as much heartfelt thanks as ever. Our goal for 2020 is to raise $200,000 to fund initiatives such as the COVID Response Fund, the Coast's First Responders, whose efforts have never been more vital. You can choose to support a specific initiative or allow your gift to be invested wherever the need is greatest. As you can well imagine, the past 6 months of sheltering in place has had a devastating impact here on the coast. Restaurant, lodging and hospitality workers, elderly and tribal communities, as well as those stewarding local agriculture and vineyards, have experienced the loss of jobs, loss of businesses, and health insurance. And the impacts are far-reaching. Yet this community continues to pull together. Thankfully, the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation has been able to pivot nimbly and has focused both their efforts and their funding effectively in response to the pandemic. And in a serendipitous way, the timing could not have been more perfect. With the Mendocino Coast District Hospital now operating as part of the Adventist Health System, the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation had already begun to broaden its focus outside the four walls of the hospital. And it couldn't have happened at a better time, as the community has needed them more than ever. For example, in its expanded role, the foundation was able to respond to an urgent request from the Westport Volunteer Fire Department. As you watch this next segment, remember that the firefighters you see in uniform are primarily volunteers from the local community. Take a look.
The Westport Volunteer Fire Department would like to thank the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation for its generous grant of nearly $5,000, which enabled us to purchase sophisticated personal protective equipment, including dual cartridge respirators and disposable Tyvek suits. This equipment will provide the members of our department with a higher level of protection as we respond to 911 emergency calls during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Westport Volunteer Fire Department provides year-round initial 911 emergency response service for medical emergencies, traffic accidents, traumatic injuries, and fires on the northern Mendocino coast. Our response area covers roughly 108 square miles of rugged terrain. We currently have 10 active duty members. 4 of our members are EMTs and 1 is a paramedic. We train 4 times a month to maintain and sharpen our skills. Fundraising to support our operations is a constant challenge. Roughly 2/3 of our emergency responses are for medical emergencies, traffic accidents, and traumatic injuries. Most of those responses involve tourists. We are very grateful for the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation's grant, which provides our members with enhanced personal protection as we respond to 911 calls during the pandemic. Thank you very much for helping to keep us safe.
So here's the deal, friends. Normally, each volunteer fire station on the coast hosts a summer barbecue to raise approximately $5,000 to fund equipment upgrades, safety equipment, and the like. Obviously, this year, the barbecues were all canceled. But we have 6 volunteer fire stations in the area, each in need of $5,000 to help fund personal protective equipment and other safety gear. Please text your gifts right now to help raise the $30,000 needed to provide our volunteer first responders with the equipment and tools they need to do their brave and selfless work. Text Winesong to 345-345. These individuals don't get paid. They volunteer their time to train and serve, putting themselves in harm's way to care for others. Let's raise that $30,000 needed to buy the equipment and tools to keep them safe. Text Winesong to 345-345. And know this, regardless of whether your contribution is $5, $500, $5,000, or $50,000, it's so important that we all pull together. Let's take a look, because I think we've got a few friends to thank. How about you join me in thanking our friends at American Ag Credit for their contribution of $2,500. Mark Hansen at Bricoleur Vineyards sent in $1,000. Thank you so much. Jim and Jody Ray made a contribution of $7,500. Thank you so much, Jim and Jody. Eric Allman sent in a gift of $2,500. Thank you, Eric and Kirk. The Daly Family Foundation sent in a contribution of $5,000. Thank you so much. These are some big gifts, my friends. Know this, the $5, $50, $500 contributions are just as appreciated. My friend Scott Farmer sent in a gift of $12,500. Thank you so much to Scott Farmer. And Charlene McAllister of our Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation Board of Directors has sent in a gift of $12,500. Thank you so much, Charlene. Friends, over the last 6 months, the Foundation Board passed several emergency resolutions and established a COVID response fund. Thanks to several generous supporters, including Kathy and John Hughes, Bill and Bobby Knapp, Mike Linton and Steve Botsford, and others, Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation was able to purchase ventilators and other desperately needed safety equipment for the hospital, enabling them to respond effectively to the initial phase of the pandemic. What's needed now is a rapid testing machine for COVID. In the words of Hospital Chief of Staff, Dr. William Miller, this innovative technology will be a game changer in the battleground to provide timely, accurate testing and diagnosis for both residents and visitors as we head into the flu season during the pandemic. To tell us more about this initiative, please welcome the Manager of Laboratory and Infection Control at Mendocino Coast District Hospital, Emmett O'Connell.
20 years ago, Dr. Frank Bavuso, the laboratory director at the time, challenged me to improve the scope of services in our transfusion department, in our microbiology and stat labs. With the efforts of our outstanding clinical laboratory scientists, medical lab technicians, lab assistants, and phlebotomists, this has been achieved. These improvements could not have occurred without the direct support of the Foundation, its members, and donors. During my time here, the Foundation has provided over $100,000 in direct support for new testing systems and equipment. Recent examples include donated funds for a plasma thawing system. Now, in an emergency, we can prepare plasma for transfusion in minutes. In microbiology, we were able to establish a molecular diagnostics lab on campus. This new technology has proven vital in our battle with new, old, and emerging pathogens, including Clostridium difficile, MRSA, and now COVID-19. Recently, the hospital, with Foundation support, was able to procure the Cepheid PCR analyzer, which will greatly speed up our ability to detect COVID-19. As a director in the Ancillary Services Department, I witnessed the generous, thoughtful, and effective Foundation support for our community hospital. At critical times, Mendocino Coast Hospital and the Foundation found the funds to keep us going forward. The Foundation has come through with over $2.5 million in support for the purchase of new ambulances, ultrasound equipment, ventilators, echocardiology equipment, a CT scanner, nuclear medicine camera, portable X-ray equipment. And this is only a partial list of the Foundation support for our beloved hospital, home health agency, medical offices, and ambulance service. The hospital and our coastal community continue to benefit greatly from the improved technology and services supported and funded by the Foundation. Thank you to the Foundation Board, their staff, and all those who help provide the funds to continue this needed and deeply appreciated support. In partnership with the Foundation and Adventist Health, our district and our hospital look forward to a bright happy, and healthy future.
Thank you, Emmett. Friends, I'm excited to announce that $30,000 needed by our volunteer fire departments has already been raised. So thank you so very much. Keep it going. You are incredibly generous as always. The rapid testing machine that Emmett just spoke of has a price tag of approximately $100,000. So if you've not already done so, please pick up your smartphone or tablet now and text Winesong to 345-345 to support the purchase of this vital piece of equipment. Your gifts will literally save lives, and having access to rapid testing will enable the beautiful Mendocino Coast we all cherish to recover and reopen as quickly as possible and once again thrive post-pandemic. I know that I long to be there smelling that fresh sea air on that beautiful shoreline and to see all of you under the big tent again. Rapid testing is going to be key to us being able to all gather together in Mendocino. So my friends, the impact of your generosity and contributions to that rapid testing equipment will last for years to come. Let's keep it going, and let's thank a few people. Sharon and Bill Shubin just sent in a contribution of $10,000. Thank you so much to Sharon and Bill Shubin and the Shubin family. Renee and Vince DiPiero sent in a contribution of $5,000. Thank you, Vince and Renee. Martha Barra sent in a gift of $2,000, our honorary vintner of the year, Martha Barra. Thank you. Our good friend Muriel Wilson has contributed $1,000. Thank you, Muriel. Susan Warner, another member of the Foundation Board of Directors. Susan Warner has sent in a contribution of $1,500. Thank you, Susan. Cindy Blom sent in a contribution of $250. Thank you so much, Cindy. Bill Sobalski and Maria Mason have sent in a contribution of $5,000. We thank you so much, Bill. I can picture you out in the audience in that fantastic hat you wear every year. Boyd and Kathleen Metz from Kansas City have sent in a contribution of $5,500. Thank you, Boyd and Kathleen. We so appreciate your support. You know, friends, over the years, we have had a lot of fun together at Winesong, and we've done a lot of good. One area in particular where our efforts have had an enormous impact is a tough area to talk about, but it's made such a difference, your help. And that's helping cancer patients here on the coast. Sadly, cancer doesn't take a break, not even during a pandemic. Facing a cancer diagnosis is devastating at any time, more so when one has to navigate it in isolation while simultaneously facing the loss of their job and health insurance. But thanks to your support, help continues to be available for those battling cancer during this especially difficult time, thanks to the partnership between Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation and the Mendocino Coast Cancer Resource Center. Take a look.
I want to thank the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation for their support of the Cancer Resource Centers of Mendocino County. When someone finds out they have cancer, their lives turn upside down. For those who live here on the North Coast, there are even greater challenges related to accessing care. Most people will receive at least some of their care in Ukiah, Santa Rosa, or even San Francisco, and the costs of travel and lodging add up quickly. Because of the help provided by the Foundation, we will be able to assist our clients with costs related to travel and lodging to out-of-town appointments, as well as emergency needs. Our vision is that no one will face cancer alone, and the Foundation is helping to make that vision possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends, I understand that so far our total raised is inching its way up to about $75,000, $80,000, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. So far you have funded 100% of the needs from our volunteer fire departments. Thank you for that contribution. And we are now receiving a flurry of gifts coming in to support this rapid testing machine. If you've not already done so, please text Winesong to 345-345, because your support of cancer patients on the coast at this time will send the most powerful message of all. You'll say to them that while you may feel isolated as you shelter in place, you are not alone. My friends, please text Winesong to 345-345. Among our staunchest advocates for cancer care here on the coast is another dear friend, the legendary Dick Grace. Over the years, Dick has made many heartfelt appeals to ensure the continuation of vital foundation initiatives such as the Betty Cox Cancer Fund, which helps those battling cancer manage the burdens of copays they would otherwise be unable to afford. Your gifts in support of the Betty Cox Cancer Fund ensure that care received is based on what's best for the patient, not limitations imposed by someone's insurance or financial circumstances. Besides, when you come back to Winesong next year, won't it feel great to know that you continued to step up in 2020? Continuing to show up for this community in its hour of need? Please text Winesong to 345-345 and help those facing the unthinkable at this time. If, as in years past, you've typically pledged $20,000 to our fund in need, I ask that you please do so again this year if you're able. Likewise, if your gift is typically $10,000 or $5,000 or $2,500 or $1,000 or whichever amount you typically contribute, please continue that tradition, knowing that your tax-deductible gift will have both an immediate and a lasting impact. The important thing is this: if each of us makes a gift at whatever level we can, we'll be doing our part to ensure that this little slice of heaven known as the Mendocino Coast will continue to thrive until we meet again. Let's take a look at our screen and see who else we can thank. My good friend Suzanne Barone has sent in a contribution of $100. Thank you, Suzanne. And Deirdre Lamb has sent in a contribution of $100. Thank you so much, Deirdre. And Dana Carroll, I understand, Dana, thank you for your $1,000 gift, and you contributed that to the fundraising team that I set up for this year's Winesong. Thank you so much, Dana. I really appreciate that. Jim and Pam Collins have sent in $250. Thanks so much, Jim and Pam. Lynn Dunn and Paul Molnar have been very active this year as well and have sent in a $1,000 contribution. Michael and Janet Verlander, longtime Winesong supporters, $5,000 contribution. Thanks so much to the Verlanders. Ken and Richie Saunders have also sent in a contribution of $1,000. Thank you so much, my friends. Keep it going. I think we are inching up towards about $100,000. You're amazing. You know, in planning for Winesong this year, I've become much more aware of the lifetime contributions of some very generous and longtime supporters of Winesong. As you continue to text gifts, I'd like to take a moment to thank a few individuals, couples, and families whose cumulative contributions to Winesong are so massive, some spanning decades, that it seemed fitting to acknowledge them. If you know them personally, please consider dropping them a line after tonight's broadcast to thank them for their transformational generosity to Winesong and the Mendocino Coast Healthcare Foundation. I'd like to take a moment to extend sincerest thanks to our Winesong Legacy Circle. At the top of the list, at the head of the pack, and perpetually at our Winesong head table, please help me in thanking Sharon and Bill Shubin and the Shubin family watching from Sun Valley, Idaho today. Thank you, Sharon and Bill, and may God bless your big, beautiful family. We're forever, ever grateful to you and your entire family. I'd also like to thank Eric Allman and Kirk McCusick. Thank you so much. Longtime friends, and I believe perpetually paddle number one in our live auction, Renee and Vince DiPiero. Thank you so much, Renee and Vince. Lynn Dunn and Paul Molnar, Legacy Society, thank you. Scott Farmer, the man who has swooped in at the end of too many funded needs and said to me, I'll contribute whatever it takes to get us to the next milestone. Scott, thank you for always doing that. Mickey Friend and Lori Bradford, thank you so much. Kathy and John Hughes, the lovely and gracious Kathy Hughes, thank you so much for all you do. Ralphine Ippoliti, watching from Florida, I believe, this afternoon. Board member Charlene McAllister, thank you, Charlene. Kathleen and Boyd Metz, tuning in from Kansas City, Kansas this afternoon. The lovely and dear Joan Selkow, thank you so much, Mrs. Selkow, for your continued support. Bill Sobalski and Maria Mason, Legacy Society thanks you for being a part of it. Lee Tepper and Doreen Rayel, thank you so much. Martha Wagner, our sincerest thanks to you. Janet and Michael, I'm going to start over on that one. Janet and Michael Verlander, dear friends, how could I possibly mispronounce their name? Thank you to the Verlanders. And of course, to Mrs. Betty Cox, in honor of the late Elwyn Cox and the late Buckley L. Thomas. Thank you all again for being part of our Winesong Legacy Circle. Thank you for your transformational gifts to this important charity. I only wish we were all together in the big tent to give you a resounding round of applause. But you can be sure we will once we gather again. Plus, I'd also like to extend special thanks to Meredith and Clayt Daly Jr., whose incredible wine lots contributed to each year's live auctions have become a cornerstone of Winesong for decades. So thank you so much, Meredith and Clayt. All right, my friends, the sands of time are slipping through the hourglass. This is the moment to text Winesong to 345-345. Let's see who else we can thank. Peter Lopez, thank you for your contribution of $250. Ralphine Ippoliti has sent in a contribution of $3,000. Thank you, Ralphine. Wendy Cohen, thank you for your gift of $50. Judith Immel Hutting has sent in a contribution of $250. Thank you, Judith. Joan Z. Woods has sent in a gift of $1,000. Karen Bursheimel, thank you so much for your contribution, Karen, of $1,100. And Mike Linton, our new friend Mike Linton, has come in with a staggering $10,000. Thank you so much, Mike Linton. My friends, we have gone well past $100,000 and we are headed into the home stretch. Here to express her appreciation for your generosity, please welcome Executive Director Michelle Roberts.
Winesong friends and family, it's been an absolute pleasure being with you virtually today and all summer long. When COVID hit, we didn't know what we were going to do, but the Winesong team put it in gear, got busy, and we got busy doing what we know and love to do, and that's to raise money for our friends and family on the Mendocino Coast to have outstanding health care, and you all stepped up incredibly. On behalf of all whose lives have been saved or enhanced because of you, the entire Winesong team joins me in expressing our deepest gratitude. Thank you for sticking with us. We couldn't have done it without you. I know I speak for the entire community when I say we look forward to welcoming you back to the Mendocino Coast. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay in touch, until we meet again. And who knows, that was fun. We might just do it again next year. Cheers.
Indeed, Michelle, we just might do it again next year. Friends, as Michelle will soon be transitioning into retirement, this will be her last wine song at the helm after 5 years of committed service. Michelle's passing the baton into the capable hands of Mary Kate McKenna, and you're gonna love her too. And we are hoping that Michelle will join us again next year as a guest. So best wishes, Michelle, and welcome to the Wine Song family, Mary Kate. Friends, we are in the home stretch. We have raised so far $132,000. That means, quick calculation, only $68,000 to go. So if you've not yet sent in a pledge, I urge you to do so now. Please text Winesong to 345-345. And look, if this texting thing is kind of a pain in the neck, just call Mary Kate at the office and tell her you'll send in your check. This Wine Song audience, we are such a close-knit group. We don't need all this technology to support a cause that we all love to rally around. And also, if you know of folks who've missed today's broadcast, I encourage you to share the broadcast link, which you'll receive via email in the next day or so, as the campaign to support healthcare on the coast will remain open throughout the month of September. So, couple of quick reminders. The online auction closes at 5 p.m. Pacific, so get those last bids in now. Also, please save the date for Winesong 2021, which will take place the weekend of September 10th next year. And to all of you who've tuned in today, thank you for helping us to put a great big dent in the deficit caused by the cancellation of this year's live Winesong event. You have so far raised close to $135,000 for our friends on the coast. I'm truly touched by how you've stepped up during this most unusual time. Not even a pandemic could keep you from Winesong. So as in years past, I say this. On behalf of all whose lives you've touched on the Mendocino Coast, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I'd like to say a few thank yous to some individuals who are continuing to send in gifts. Let's thank Laura Levy for her contribution of $250. Holly Spears, thank you so much for your gift of $100. Kathy Fieberling has sent in a gift of $200. Thank you so much, Kathy. Carol Ann Walton just sent in a contribution of $250. Thank you, Carol Ann. And Charlene Grandfield has sent in a gift of $50. My friends, keep those gifts coming in. Text to pledge, call the office, mail a check, bid on online auction items. However you choose to support Winesong, we appreciate your gifts and contributions. Look, I'm not going to pretend that gathering together on a broadcast like this even comes close to replicating what we're able to do together under the big tent, and the feeling that we have when we're all together under the big tent, and the experience of all of us raising a glass together at the Pinot tastings and the VIP reception and the main event live auction. This type of virtual setting can't come close to replicating that. But I want to thank you that in spite of the fact that we were unable to gather in that way that we all know and love and have enjoyed for decades, you've still continued to show up for this beautiful community in Mendocino. For that, I thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. And I'd also like to thank our artists. Because frankly, what would Winesong be if not for our amazingly talented artists? Whether they paint a bottle, handcraft a glass sculpture, create a magnificent wine, or a culinary masterpiece, the combined efforts of these mega talents make Winesong one of the most unique culinary and wine fundraising events in the country. In particular, I'd like to thank our vintners, craft brewers, and other culinary partners. I can't think of any industry on the whole that is more philanthropic than they are. Year in and year out, they can be found at every charitable event, supporting countless wonderful causes. So to close tonight's broadcast, here's a special salute to our beverage and culinary artists. Hats off to our artists, hats off to all of you, dear friends, and until we meet again, stay healthy and keep smiling. Thanks again, and see y'all next year.
The sun embraced me for hours in the grass, under trees, and soft-scented breeze, baby. Ooh, ooh, honey, ooh, your eyes are like chocolate. Then sweetens my chin, you'd melt in my pocket. I'm drinking it in, everything those eyes have to say. Smells like summer, on oceans, sunsets, and white little flowers. The soft July breeze bring me to my knees, baby. Ooh.
Hey there, it's me again. Exciting news, just under the wire. We just received some amazing contributions, and I wanted to say a quick thank you to Bill Knapp, who just sent in a contribution of $10,000 to help fund the Cepheid machine. That's the rapid COVID testing machine. Bill, thank you so much for your $10,000 contribution. That's going to make an enormous, enormous difference. I also want to thank Gary Craig for your contribution of $125. And how fitting that the last contribution that I would be calling out is that of our new executive director, Mary Kate McKenna. Mary Kate, thank you for your gift of $500. Friends, throughout the month of September, we will continue this effort and we will do everything in our power to keep Mendocino healthy until we meet again. Thanks again and see you next year. Love you all.
The sun embraced me for hours in the grass, under trees, and soft-scented breeze, baby. Ooh, ooh, honey, ooh, your eyes are like chocolate. Then sweetens my chin, you'd melt in my pocket. I'm drinking it in, everything those eyes have to say. Ooh, honey, ooh, your breath smells like summer, on oceans, sunsets, and white little flowers. The soft July breeze bring me to my knees, baby. Ooh. Ooh, baby, ooh, your arms are like showers, warm like the sun, embrace me for hours in the grass, under trees, and soft-scented breeze, baby. Ooh, ooh, honey, ooh, your eyes are like chocolate. Then sweetens my chin, you'd melt in my pocket. I'm drinking it in, everything those eyes have to say. Ooh, honey, ooh, your breath smells like summer, on oceans, sunsets, and white little flowers. The soft July breeze bring me to my